Are you carrying far too much debt? Now, many of you are going to say, wow, she's talking about my mortgage. She's talking about all of these credit cards that I acquired where I thought I could pay for things, and only later on did I realize, sorry, the debt load is so heavy. I either need to go into bankruptcy, I need a short sale, I need to walk away from this mortgage that I've been underneath. Well, I was not even thinking about those kinds of debts. We all know how heavy those can be, but there are other debts in life that are far more difficult to escape, and they're the personal debts that we take on. Let me just give you a couple of examples. Years ago, I could remember going out. I fell in love with an Audi car. I'm dating myself, but it was called the Audi Fox. I loved it. It was so cute. I could have afforded the payments, but when I went to the Audi dealership and I realized over the course of time, by looking at the last page, I would be paying many times over the cost of the car, and I knew it wasn't worth it. A few years later, when my husband and I were taking out a mortgage for our home, I happened to look not at the first number, which was the price we paid for the house, but I opened up and I really took a look at the back number, the amount of money we would have paid over 30 years for buying this house today, and I thought, my gosh, this house is not worth it. How many of you have ever done something in life? Maybe you saw something really shiny and glittery. It could have been something that belonged to somebody else. It could have been someone that belonged to somebody else. It could have been anything that kind of caught your attention in the moment. Maybe it was an opportunity that was not really yours to take, but you decided you were going to step over the line and take it because it was bright and shiny and you were going to feel excited about it, just like I might have been about my new Audi car. And yet, what nobody ever tells you is that there's a back page number on it, and it's known as your debt. It's the kind of debt you really can't walk away from. You can't say, well, gee, I'm walking away from this house, I'm declaring bankruptcy, because those are the kind of debts we take on in our minds. And they're the kind of things either that make us feel guilty or they make us feel uncomfortable. Now, some of you may be listening to me and thinking, oh my gosh, this lady's too heavy. I can't handle this. Here's a thought. How many times have you taken on a debt against someone else? Maybe they did something that you felt offended by. Maybe they took advantage of you, and you decided you were going to pick up an offense. That's the part I really did want to talk about, and that's something you have control over. Look at the back page of that offense. Have you ever thought about all the time it might take in your mind to think about someone that you felt owed you something? Well, you know what? The best thing to do in that case is to look at the back page. I don't know about you, but I don't want my back page to have any kind of a debt, whether it's a mortgage, a car that is not worth what I thought it was, or someone who I felt owed me something because maybe I felt offended. It's never worth it. I would say to you today, you might be thinking about mortgages, you might be thinking about your checkbook. Think instead about the last page of picking up a debt of somebody's that you really don't need. This is Maura4u, because I want to see you debt-free. Take care. Bye-bye.